Alright, what's up everybody? Eventual possible viewers of this video. Gonna only focus on this heads up match here. I happen to be 4th out of 150 in this $2,000 guaranteed, but I'm not going to verbally mention any ongoings on the left side table. Alright, so let's get into it. I like to early on in heads up matches limp to establish how a player will react to a button limp, because many players will incessantly attack a button limp. And I believe the best way to win a heads up sit and go is find the path of least resistance. You want to try to win, obviously, but you want to try to win in the lowest variance method possible. So, that being said, if you can establish early on in a match a significant flaw in your opponent's game, and it's when he's in the big blind, then I really think you're already onto something, and you could begin to try to exploit your opponent almost immediately. Interesting. On the first hand, now, could he have a flush? Yes. Do I think he elects to bet pot on the river with a 9? I don't know. I don't know anything about this person. But wow. He could have an 8x hand that he just doesn't want to give up on. We're just going to let it go. We just don't know anything about this person. Doesn't make sense with a wide range of hands that you would pot every street. But say la vie. I do not like 3-betting small pocket pairs heads up with these stack sizes, because there's just not many flops that you're going to be able to continue on for value profitably that don't contain a 3 or give you an open-ended straight draw with maybe, I guess with maybe a flush draw, but how much value does that really add to your equity, given it would be 3 high in this instance? So that's pot on this turn. Could just be slow playing a jack and looking to regain the value of checking flop by potting turn. But I'm not sure. I think I have to call. This guy likes to bet pot. Last time he pots flop turn river. Now he checks in position. I check to him. Would he be doing that with King X? Ooh wee! Golly, we couldn't have been more wrong there. Jeez Louise. Well then. We are playing from behind. But that is going to happen. And the cool thing about these heads-up sit-and-goes is even though we just lost a third of our chips, if we double up, we're sitting with a 2-to-1 chip lead. So, never tilt. Never let that get to you. And just remember, you're one hand away from a huge chip lead. I love that river. Interested to know what he's check calling there on the river. So let's go find out. Yeah. Definitely check calling there with missed draws. Lots of missed draws on that river. So yeah. Nothing absurd. We have very little equity, so these are the spots in which I do like to stab, but not in a raised pot. In a limped pot, yes. Here, I think I will check raise. So he has some showdown value, so I'm thinking he has some like ace-6 through ace-king, king-queen, king-jack. I'm thinking he has one of those kind of hands, because I mean, how many pocket pairs are you really checking there? Like maybe if he flopped the whole thing like he did with the 6s full of jacks, and he flopped the whole thing with 2s full of 4s, then you know, okay, maybe. But I think we have to fire. Even though he's potted every single turn that we've checked to him thus far in the match, on second thought it might have been better to do that. Although we wouldn't have really enjoyed that river too much, so but that's not what we should be concerned with. Let's test this theory. Are you gonna pot this turn? You sure are. Let's get some value from that flush draw. Well, we needed a river to catch up there. Interesting. I thought we were going to get some chips there. Alright. Especially against a player that's shown me he's kind of like willing to barrel, just pop, and kind of act in this manner. I really like making like 3.5x when I'm 3-betting out of position. It lets you get further value when you have the best hand, and it also narrows their range for not only calling but for 4-betting you. And I think that just lets you operate much more efficiently post-flop. That was probably with the 6-7. That was probably towards the bottom of my, definitely towards the bottom of my raising range at these stack depths. He limps. Well, we're not exactly punishing a limp. We actually have a hand, but interested to see if he's willing to just limp call. Oh, jeez. wonder what he does if we check. See, in this spot, I mean, we obviously have X amount of equity because of this. We further it X amount of times when he didn't flop a flush, making the straight draw irrelevant. But that's like 40% chip up to our remaining stack, so we're just gonna pile. Yeah. Like either you're on a stone cold bluff or I have a decent amount of equity. Which those are good spots to bluff. Semi bluff. Whatever you want to call it. So we've gained back some chips. Oh, I wish this wasn't club, because I would definitely check this and just let him pot turn since he's going to do it all the time. Doing the math, it might be the correct play to check because less than 25% of the time this is going to come a club anyway. And there's not too many other cards that kill my hand. Like Ace of Diamonds doesn't really kill my hand in any kind of sense. But we're going to bet this. Interesting spot. But okay. No 8. Thank you, sir. Good game, good game, good game.